distant shore, where the and thy love walk hand in hand, ever and evermore. Be of good cheer, dear heart, asleep on a distant shore, where the and thy love walk hand in hand, ever and
Bravo! Well done indeed. Now, Vera. How do you know the ladies and gentlemen don't want an encore?
Don't think they do, Father.
Not a bad tone on that instrument, Britain. What do you give for it?
250.
You could have got one for less than that.
There's genuine rosewood inlay there, you know. If you've got children with talent, it's your duty to encourage it. That's my view of the matter.
Vera, come and talk to us. I'm sure Mrs. Moore would like to hear all about the Hunt Ball. Vera's dance programme was full up with names. I was quite surprised to see how popular she was. Tea.
Did any of the names come from Little Malden?
Oh, now hearing things, aren't we? Now it's all coming out.
Who are you talking about?
Nobody.
Who's this from Little Malden?
It's nothing, Father. I just happened to go over there for the Sunday service, that's all.
It'll be the curate.
Oh.
The quicker you put a damper on that, Edith, the better for everybody.
I just happened to find that Mr. Williams' sermons are not only a lot less repetitive than our own vicars, but occasionally they even have some intellectual content.
Oh, stuff. No girl walks 3 miles there and back just for a change of text. He's a young mountebank, big roly eyes and a ginger quiff.
Oh, there now.
Vera?
Sarah?
Yes, ma'am?
You've forgotten the Garibaldis.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'll fetch them.
Thank you, Sarah. I think it must be this dreadful weather we've been having. It's been upsetting us all.
Vera?
Yes, Father.
I'm waiting to hear what was the meaning of that little exhibition.
Exhibition?
Turning your back on everyone like that, totally uncalled for, insulting to our guests and humiliating to your mother and myself.
I was the one who was being humiliated.
Humiliate? On my soul, Vera, sometimes I think there's something wrong with your head. They listened to your play, they applauded, they paid you nice little compliments about your conquest. Oh, Vera.
Father, I'm sorry if I was rude.
Now, that's more like my little girl.
But I have tried to tell you, and I can never seem to make you understand.
All right, come on, what is it? What is this? I can't understand.
I know it's meant to be some sort of compliment to pretend that all a girl thinks about is getting admirers. However dull and stupid and conceited and boring they are.
Listen, Vera. We don't want to influence your choice. But I must point out a curate doesn't earn an...
Please, Father. Please try very hard to believe. I don't want to marry the curate. He had some new ideas, that's all. I wish he was 57 with a wife and 8 children. Then I could listen to his ideas without being misunderstood. About the piano.
Well,
It's beautiful. But my hands are too small to span an octave properly. And besides, Edward is the musical one, not me.
But I bought it for you, not for Edward. I thought you were supposed to love music.
I do. But I can't help thinking that the money you spent on that and my music lessons would have been enough to pay for my fees in a university, Father.
Oh, we're back to that old Tommy rot, are we?
Why is it Tommy Rot? Why?
You're just that your head's stuffed full of silly ideas, but one or two dried-up spinsters from St. Monica's. You'll soon grow out of those when you grow up, and the right man comes along.
Father, when will you realize that I am grown up? I'm 18. I am not a little girl. I am 18. I am a woman.
And the clubs can go in his room as well. And
He's here.
Yes, of course, an area check. And Ellen, don't forget the motor and the scarf.
Edward, you're home.
As you see.
You're staying with us the whole time. You're not going off to stay with that, what's his name, that head boy.
Leighton, no, not this time.
Oh, it's so good to have you home. Can't imagine how horrible it's been here lately.
Why, what is it this time?
Oh, just the same old things. That's the whole dreariness of it. Nothing changes. This year, next year, forever and ever. Stupid dances with fatuous young men, helping Mama run sewing circles for the Mothers' Union and do good works for the deserving poor.
Now, V.
I know. I must be full of original sin.
Are you asking me to believe that?
Oh, yes. I was writing up my diary last night, and there on the first page was a list of my aims and ideals that I wrote when I was at school. To relieve suffering, that was one of them.
I'm still not convinced.
Sometimes I wish we could take things to the undeserving poor. Perhaps they wouldn't be so depressing. Oh, well, never mind about me. What have you been doing? Have you won any more prizes lately?
No.
No? You used to get dozens of them.
I've been learning to play the viola.
In the organ, you said.
That's right.
What's this? You've been writing music, too.
Yeah. No, look, V, that's not finished yet. There are some others. Sterndale Bennett liked them.
You shouldn't have stopped playing just because I came in.
I know, but I thought it was Father, and you know how he detests that violin, especially when I'm practicing.
Mama, why does Father get so angry about Edward's violin? Do you think he actually hates music?
No, dear. In fact, he quite enjoys some of the old ballads. That's how we first met, you know. Oh, you remember, I told you. He used to come to my father for singing lessons. No, what I think he feels about Edward is perhaps that music isn't a really manly occupation.
Rubbish.
Oh, really?
Well, isn't it rubbish?
Your father does not talk rubbish, Phoebe.
V, have you written any more stories lately?
No. How can I write when everything is dust and ashes?
Have there been rows again?
Every week.
Dear child, it's not necessary to turn everything into a battle.
Then why do all of us have to do everything his way? I tell you, Edward, I can put up with what happens to me. But if you let him put you in that paper mill, I shall never forgive you, never.
You won't do that. You can see I'd be no good at it.
I think he'd be satisfied if he went into the Indian Civil Service, Edward. Two of his friends in the Chamber of Commerce have sons who've done that.
Indian Civil Service, Edward?
Well, let's see. That would mean reading greats at Oxford. He seems quite determined on my going to Oxford. Very well, I'll read greats. I'll read music as well. We'll see how it turns out.
Excuse me, ma'am, but the master'd like a word with you about the privet.
Oh, dear. Thank you, Sarah.
I believe that's why you've stopped winning prizes. You're going to show him you'll never be any good at anything but music. You'll fail the Indian Civil Service exam, won't you?
Time will tell.
You don't need to fight him. You'll get your own way in the end. Men seem to have so much choice.
It won't always be like this, V.
I don't see why not. You can keep me here until it's too late. Till the only way out is into some other man's house. Where I'd be no freer than I am now. Maybe less. Maybe a lot less. I've had offers, you know.
Oh?
Wouldn't mind if they weren't all such fools.
What is it you're after, V? Is it really to stretch your mind, or just to get away from Buxton?
Both.
Well, if you can't get to an actual university, what about these extension lectures in the town hall?
Have you seen who goes to them?
Now, Vera, that's not the point. There's something about it in the paper.
No, sorry. What's on?
Yes, here we are.
Anything on the novel or poetry?
No, but look, here.
Mr. J.A. Marriott continues his course on the problems of wealth and poverty, which lectures on the Industrial Revolution and the history of trade unionism. Sounds very tedious. Maybe they had something on Shelley or Swinburne.
You told me last year that Miss Heath-Jones had talked to you about current affairs and you got quite interested. Well, she even took you to a meeting once, didn't she?
Well, that was women's suffrage, Edward. Naturally, that was interesting.
Ah.
Oh, is there something funny?
No, but dear girl, it won't encourage people to put women into Parliament if the only thing they know or care about is simply getting there. Well, don't you think men have to work at tedious things too? Hmm?
All right. Apply to the secretary, Mrs. S. Harding. Suppose I better tell Father. Better tell him now before I change my mind.
V, mightn't it be better if I told him? And perhaps I could catch him at a good moment.
Oh, well done, sir. Splendid. Not bad. Not bad indeed. But you should have been here last week, Edward. Now, what day was it? Well, no, Thursday. The whole stuff down here. What sort of people were running it?
The secretaries are Mrs. Harding. Married to an architect, I believe.
Oh, that'll be Jacob Harding. Brother to Harding, the accountant. Very old Buxton family. Highly respected.
That's right.
Oh, what time will she be getting home from these lectures?
Oh, not late. I've got the cutting here somewhere. Yes.
Anything the matter?
Industrial Revolution Trade Unionism?
It's perfectly all right, sir. He's a Tory.
What?
A Conservative, Father. True blue, very loyal. In fact, there's been some talk of selecting him as a candidate.
No. That does put a different complexion on the matter.
No, that was a complete fallacy. As it turned out, the new machinery led to a tremendous expansion in employment. By smashing the looms, they were acting against their own best interests. And there, in a nutshell, you have the most powerful argument for the spread of further education. Many of the most disastrous events in history can be attributed to ignorance rather than malice. Are there any other questions? Come along. I know we're rather depleted in numbers tonight, but has no one any other questions? Or any further points they'd like to make? No? Well, I must say, Buxton has never struck me as a particularly inquisitive place. However, for your weekly essay, I would like you to write on either the rise of the textile industry or why the ideas of Adam Smith appealed particularly to the north of England. Only 3 contributions to return. Mrs. Harding, as usual. Mr. Burns. Here you are, Mr. Burns. Mrs. Harding. And here's one, with just initials, VB. Who's VB? Really? Are you VB? Ah. Very good. Very promising. You certainly know how to handle words. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, we shall be discussing the Corn Laws. Meanwhile, thank you for your attention and good night.
May I have your attention, please, just for one moment? Mr. Marriott, who comes quite a long way to give us these lectures, normally stays overnight with our treasurer, Mr. Green, who is unable to be here tonight as they're preparing to remove to London. Unfortunately, I can't offer him hospitality either next Wednesday. If you know of anyone with a spare bedroom who'd be willing to step into the breach, I'd be most grateful.
I must say, this Mr. Marriott's not at all what I expected. When Mrs. Jones went to his class, that's Mrs. Alderman Jones, she said that he looked down his nose at Buxton people. But I must speak as I find. I saw no signs of side at all. Of course, with the real gentry, you don't.
Ashtray, Sarah, and fun.
If you're catering for the quality market, and my firm always has, you can't afford shoddy workmanship.
Oh, precisely. No, thank you.
Now, at this point, Mr. Marriott, you may be asking yourself, but how does he avoid shoddy workmanship? What is the secret? Well, I'll tell you. It lies in three things. The best and most up-to-date plant and machinery, personal attention to detail, and good relations with my workmen. Look upon me as a father, Mr. Marriott.
I'm sure they do.
And how is the course of lectures going on, Mr. Marriott? I hear it's been very successful.
No, I'd hardly call it that, Mrs. Britton. Attendance has been low this year.
Mr. Marriott's very pleased with Vera, though, my dear. Says she's the best in the class. That's so, isn't it?
Indeed.
Quite an honour, you know, coming from an Oxford man.
Oh, yes. My brother's boys are up at Oxford. Doing very well, I understand.
Lottie was saying she's finding it quite a drain having the two up there at the same time. Not that she's counting the cost, of course. But you're lucky you only have the one.
Two, surely.
No, Mr. Marriott, just the one, Edward. Oh, I do wish you could have met him.
He's at Uppingham.
They think so highly of him there.
But with your daughter here, surely that makes two.
I thought we were talking about higher education.
Yes, exactly.
Please, Mr. Marriott, what would be the procedure for a girl wanting to go to Oxford?
Vera, don't show yourself up, dear.
Here we go. She's off again.
Which college did you have in mind?
I don't know. I hadn't got as far as that. What colleges are there?
Well, let me see. If I were you, I'd be thinking in terms of Lady Margaret Hall. That's because of the Somerville entrance examination. She'd find that a very stiff hurdle.
Yes. Yes, that's very true.
Excuse me, Mr. Marriott, but are you really serious?
Beg your pardon?
Well, we all know that Vera's talked of as being brainy, which is all very well in its way. But surely the time has come when she must decide to settle down.
Well, of course, Mrs. Smith, these decisions have to be made, but don't you agree that if they are to be wisely made, they do require a certain degree of maturity? Miss Britton is very young. After Oxford, these options would still be open to her, and her decision would certainly be a better informed one.
There's something in that, I suppose.
Well, you must have run into some of these women up in Oxford, Mr. Marriott. Now, don't you think that all this learning makes them, well, how shall I put it? Mannish them.
We wouldn't want you to spoil our chances, you see, Mr. Marriott.
I give you my word, Mrs. Britton, that all the LMH students that I've encountered have been every bit as modest, charming, and delightful as any ladies anywhere.
But please, what should I do? Who should I see? Where should I write to? How do I start?
Well, what subject did you have in mind?
English.
Oh, she's always been scribbling little stories. Her father used to bring home waste ends of paper from the mill, and her governess used to have to fold them into little books for her.
Do you know any Latin?
Small Latin and less Greek. In fact, no Greek at all.
We should really have Greek for responsions. Still, you could sit the Oxford Senior Local. That doesn't call for Greek and would exempt you from responsions.
Can I? Would it? Oh, that'd be wonderful. What are responsions?
Well, look, why don't you come down to Oxford for the summer school? Then you could arrange to see one of the principals and talk over your problem. Then all that would be needed would be a great deal of hard work.
Oh, I'll work. I'll work.
In that case, I see no problem.
Do you hear, Father?
Yeah.
Are you really thinking of going along with this, Mr. Britton?
Well, I didn't say I wouldn't think about it. I've never been a man to dismiss something out of hand. You mustn't give Mr. Marriott the impression that we're a lot of country bumpkins, you know. We know how to move with the times up here, Mr. Marriott. Make no mistake about that.
I'm sure you do.
And, of course, we'd have Edward there. Keep an eye on her.
And if Lottie can afford to have two up there at the same time, I don't know why you should imagine that we can't afford it too. Oh, I like the little tucks. You know, Vera, I've been thinking, if your father doesn't ask what you'll be wearing at the summer school, there'll be no need for the subject to come up at all.
It's too long.
That's the trouble with ready-made. If only you'd grow a few more inches. Well, what do you think, Sarah? I suppose the hem could come up a bit, but it doesn't sit right, does it? It's wrong here.
Oh, that's nothing. It's just because the bodice is too long. If we shorten it from the waist, as well as from the bottom. There.
Oh, that's better.
You see?
Yes, that's right. That's better.
Well, I'll just put the pins in for you, and then I'll tell you to sew it.
Well, what's in this other box?
Oh, it's an evening dress, and it's absolutely
Dear,
lovely.
you don't need to.
Oh, I know Mama said the cream one would do, but then I thought I'd be seeing the principal of Somerville in the morning. I had no idea she'd arrange it for 8 o'clock in the evening.
But if it's an interview, Vera, you sure she'll expect you to wear evening clothes for an interview?
Well, of course she will at that hour, won't she?
Well, it's no use asking me. I've still only come across one person who's even visited such a place. All she remembered was a lot of brainy females queuing up for bristly mutton and stewed prunes, and they have to light their own fires as well.
I just had a brilliant idea. When I'm working for the exam, I can use this room. I can put my books there on the cutting-out table. And I can, when the winter comes, I can have a fire and get up early and work and not disturb anybody. It'll be ideal. Well, why didn't you say something?
Thank you, Sarah. That'll do very nicely.
Yes, ma'am.
Well?
You can use the room for your studies if you wish, though with 3 living rooms in use, I really don't see the need, but you can't have a fire.
Why not?
To make extra work for the servants, that's why not.
Mama, don't you realise this exam is going to decide my whole future?
Child, really?
Surely with 3 maids and a garden boy, one of them can find the time.
Well, I don't intend to ask them, Vera, and that's an end of it.
Well, I think that's most unfair. I'm sure if Edward needed it for his career, you'd find a way.
Dear, that's quite different, and you know it.
It's little enough to ask. Heaven knows that just because I'm a girl, I can never have anything. I think it's very hard. I really do.
She was trying to revive the question of making the quarterly available to the JCR. Waste of time. Hardy perennial. I told her if we provided that, we'd be asked for 20 others. Quite invidious. Oh, bless my soul. What have we here? Are you expecting anyone? Well, not of this ilk. When as in silks my Julia goes. Is it a student? Hopes to be. Poor child. Oh, well, they soon assimilate. I'll leave you then, Miss Penrose. Yes.
Miss Vera Britton, Miss Penrose.
How do you do, Miss Britton?
Good evening.
Take a seat. So, you want to come to Oxford?
Yes, very much indeed.
Why Somerville? Any particular reason?
Yes.
Good. Well, let's hear.
Well,
go on.
when I first inquired, I was advised not to apply for Somerville.
Not to apply?
Yes, because...
Well, that's a strange reason. Ask advice and do the direct opposite.
But they only told me not to apply because the Somerville entrance examination is the hardest. They didn't think I was up to it.
And you think you are?
Not yet, but I could be.
Good. Don't fiddle with your shoe. Put it on.
Your heel got stuck. I thought we'd be indoors.
Clearly. Anyway, it's of no importance. Now, you'll need that. That's general. Now, what had you thought of reading?
Reading?
Subject.
Oh, English, please.
English, language and literature. Do you know the difference between university responsions and the college entrance examination?
No, I'm afraid not.
Right. Well, the college entrance exam is held here in March. In fact, there's an entrance exam and a scholarship exam. But in your case, I should ignore the scholarship, just concentrate on the entrance exam.
Why not go the whole hog?
How do you mean?
Well, why stick at the potty little entrance exam? Try for the scholarship.
Principal told me not to.
Don't have to listen to her. You've got far more brains than most girls.
How do you know I have?
Oh, I'm sure you have. I've met some of the chap's sisters. Most of them are idiots. Besides, old Marriott wouldn't have made all that up about your essays. I was talking to Leighton about it, and that's what he said. Right. You're served.
Who's coming to stay with us over Easter?
Edward's school friend.
I know that. I heard you say that. I'm asking you who he is.
Well, his name's Roland Leighton. And he just happens to be the captain of the house. And editor of the school magazine, and very popular and just all round brilliant. If you'd been to the old boys last summer, you'd have seen him. These saw him.
I don't remember. Did you introduce him?
No, I wouldn't have had the cheek then. But he's really been quite friendly lately.
Decent of him. What have you done to deserve that?
Well, for one thing, we'll both be going up to Oxford in the autumn. He's won an open scholarship to Merton, classics.
When I said, who is he, Edward, I wasn't asking for a school report. What I meant was, where does he come from? Who are his people?
Well, his father's a writer, writes stories for boys. Used to do reviews for the Daily Mail. His mother's a writer. Well, she said I don't know how many stories published. Leighton writes too, poetry mainly. They used to live in St. John's Wood and knew heaps of famous writers and so on. But now they've moved to Lowestoft.
When we were in Newcastle, your father used to know, what was that boy's name, Thomas? I always forget it.
Arnold Bennett.
Yes, well, now, he's turned into a writer. But they were ordinary people for all that.
Oh, Leighton's not ordinary.
He sounds absolutely insufferable.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Letter for Miss Vera.
It's from Oxford.
Well, open it.
I daren't.
Well, let me then.
Better get it over with. An exhibition.
Oh, I thought it would be about
Exhibition
his
of
son.
what?
Yes, but it is here. Yes, she's won an exhibition.
I don't understand. What do you mean? Conditional on her passing the
Come
Oxford
on,
Senior.
let me
Father, may I?
Get the pass it over. Hmm? Oh, what's this about money? Is that what they charge?
That's what they're awarding her.
You mean they pay her?
Yes.
Actual cash?
Yes.
I passed the Oxford Senior in July. Oh, I can't believe it. I thought I made such a mess of my essay. Let me read it properly.
Oh, just wait till I tell them this.
Well, so she did it. Good old Jack.
Sarah. Yes, very well. I think we won't wait any longer.
Oh, some wine, Mr. Leighton.
Thank you very much.
This is Roland Leighton, my sister Vera.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Do sit down. I hope you had a pleasant journey, Mr. Leighton.
Roland.
Did they keep you late at the newspaper, Vera?
Newspaper?
Oh, just a little assignment for the local rag. They do call on me from time to time.
Yes, she went to see the editor last month to ask him if he'd let her write little pieces for him.
It's a very shrewd move, if I may say so.
Oh?
Well, nothing carries more weight in Fleet Street nowadays than a bit of practical experience in the provincials.
Oh, really?
Oh, indeed. Well, Northcliffe in particular makes a real fetish of it. He won't even look at a graduate. Well, not unless he started on the ground floor, as you're doing.
I thought at least it would be an experience.
Quite right. Tell me, sir, what would be the rates per column inch in a paper of that kind, or doesn't your firm make use of the press for advertising?
Very little. Very little. To my mind, once you've built up a business, established your contacts, there's nothing to beat the personal touch. Now, my sales department is running on essentially the same lines as when we first came up here, 14, 15 years ago?
Really?
You see, once you establish that the product you are selling is a product which will reach...
Come in.
I bear a message from your brother.
What is it?
Well, when he's finished practicing, we're going into town. He asked me to say that if your piece will be ready by then, we could take it in for you. I gather it's today they go to press.
Yes. It's not quite finished yet.
What are you covering?
Oh, just some amateur theatricals. They only want 800 words.
Oh, may I read it?
It'll be out on Saturday.
You mean it'll look better in print?
No. But you see, the market I'm aiming at, it'll be in context. It's not one of those Times leaders like Trouble in the Balkans or Serbian archdukes and all that.
Well, I'd hardly mistake it for one of your major efforts, would I? I've just been hearing about your exhibition.
Oh, that. I must have been lucky with the essay.
Can't you come with us? Or are you too busy?
No, I'll come.
What did you write about?
It's hard to say. I got quite carried away. Truth, beauty, life, art, death, and the hereafter. I felt sure I wouldn't pass, so it didn't matter what I said.
Oh, yes, that can be quite releasing sometimes.
That's right.
Tell me about the hereafter.
I can't. There isn't any.
Well, how could you write about it?
I wrote about there not being any, and how this could be made bearable, and the enhancing effect it has, or ought to have, on the span of life that is given to us. That sort of thing.
Well, if that were true, I should find it very hard to believe in the giver. If it all just ends, breaks off short, isn't that a very parsimonious kind of gift?
I don't know. Depends on us, partly. How much we make of it while we've got it. It is arbitrary, yes, but so much of the universe is arbitrary.
You mean you conceive of a creator who would actually destroy?
No, when I said given to us, that was a metaphor.
I see. All right, then you tell me more about the hereafter. Now, how can you say that? You've never read any of my poems.
I read L'Envoi last Christmas, when Edward was setting it to music.
Well, I don't count that. That was a bespoke effort for the school magazine. Who's your favourite poet?
Shelley.
And prose, which novelists?
George Eliot, Meredith, Emily Bronte.
That's interesting. 2 out of 3 are women.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
When you said interesting, you meant odd. Odd that women should feature at the top of any list.
No, I don't think that was what I meant.
Wait there a minute. If you want prose, I'll read you a piece of prose. I had to copy it out because the book was only loaned to me. Now then.
On the first page?
Yes. We take all labour as our province.
We?
Women. From the judge's seat to the legislator's chair, from the statesman's closet to the merchant's office, from the chemist's laboratory to the astronomer's tower. And there is no closed door we do not intend to force open, and there is no fruit in the garden of knowledge it is not our determination to eat. That's Olive Schreiner. Don't you think that's wonderful writing?
Up to a point.
When you disagree with somebody, I think it would show more respect to say so and explain why, instead of being so superior and condescending.
Superior? Is that how I strike you?
Well, I suppose you can't help it. You seem to have been dealt all the aces in the pack from the time you were born, but you could try harder to conceal it.
Well, what aces?
Intelligence, good looks, a cultural background.
No, I meant, what have I said that sounded superior?
Nothing. But you ask questions and look smug when they're answered, as if to you everything was so tediously predictable. Shelley, but naturally. George Eliot, one could have foretold it. And when you disagree with somebody, you don't raise your voice like anybody normal. You just let it go all quiet. Up to a point, meaning I think she's wrong, of course. I think Schreiner's rubbish, but I'm not going to waste my time explaining why.
Now, you're being deliberately unfair. I don't understand why, simply because I don't happen to agree. Well, who's looking smug now?
Well, Nita, there's something you don't understand.
Well, I don't for a moment think that Schreiner is rubbish. I just happen to prefer her when she's in a less strident mood. And I was wondering why you hadn't numbered her among your favourite novelists.
I didn't know she'd written any novels.
The Story of an African Farm. You must have read that one.
Down the long white road we walked together, down between the grey hills and the heather where the tawny crested plover cries. You seemed all brown and soft, just like a linnet. Your errant hair had shadowed sunbeams in it, and there shone all April in your eyes.
Lay yourself in, Davidson.
It's a very good wicket-keeper.
Hardly.
No, it was my fault. I should have settled for the one. Jolly good bit of fielding there.
Young Anderson seems to be shaping up nicely. He's going to make a fine all-rounder next season.
Strange to think of it all going on. And we won't be here to see it.
Yes. Reminds me of that Houseman piece. Here's my team ploughing that I was used to drive, and hear the harness jingle when I was man alive. Thanks.
It's not quite like that, though, is it?
Oh, maybe not. Well, I hope not, anyway. Things aren't looking too good, though, are they?
Well, the way I see it is, if it's coming, the sooner the better.
Why should it be coming, though? I honestly don't see what Serbia's got to do with us.
But that's not the point. The point is, the Bosch is building up his strength all the time. They're only waiting for an excuse. And the longer we put it off, the worse it'll be.
The man was taking a pretty sober view of it in chapel yesterday. If a man cannot be useful to his country, then he is better dead.
Well, I agree with him.
Oh, we all agree with him, Victor.
So I should hope.
Yes, well, I should have thought that goes without saying.
Oh, well played.
Good shot.
Vera, you came.
Yes. I told Mama we couldn't miss Edward's last speech day.
Well, quite right. Well, is she with you?
Yes. Over there. Talking to the housemaster.
They're staying at Waterworks Cottage.
Well, how long for?
Till Sunday night.
Oh, that's splendid.
Edward?
Coming.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow then, Vera.
Yes.
After OTC.
After what did you say?
OTC, Officers Training Corps. That's the first item tomorrow, the parade. And the service. And then after lunch, there's the prize giving and the concert. And then the garden party. The weather looks good for it.
It's going to be a lovely, lovely day.
Battalion! Present! Arms! Battalion! Slow! Arms! Battalion! Battalion! Jump!
And this, of course, is Victor.
I think we've heard Edward speak of you.
Of course. You're the third of the so-called Three Musketeers.
One for all, and all for one!
Enter. Yes, please.
The programme's for Monseigneur.
Which of you, I wonder, would be Monseigneur?
No,
Really? Yours, I believe, my lord.
Now, you can't ask me to take the blame for that. One doesn't select one's own nickname.
They needs must love the highest when they see it.
Yes, thank you very much.
Is Victor going to Oxford too?
No, I've applied for Cambridge, Queen's.
Oh, when are you sitting the Oxford Senior? Must be quite soon now.
Next week. No, don't start her on that, Edward. We've had nothing but that exam for the last month. It's bad enough when she bores us with it without boring your friends into the bargain.
Here are the programmes for this afternoon.
Oh, good. Did you win anything this time, Edward?
Oh, he came second in quite a number of things, Mrs. Britton.
And he's doing the solo violin in the concert.
Oh, what is it, dear?
Lisket Prize winners, really? It's hardly worth printing. The Nettleship Prize for English Essay, R.A. Layton.
Thank you.
Greek prose
Composition, R.A. Layton.
Thank you very
Latin
much.
hexameters, R.A. Layton.
Oh, Greek iambics, R.P. Garrett. When did he come in?
Greek epigrams,
R.A. Layton.
Enough.
I shall look out for every atom of conceit, and if I see the least symptom, I shall squash it flat.
Oh, your mother must be immensely proud of you, though.
Oh, I don't know. She seems to take it in her stride. She seems to feel that from any son of hers, it's the very least that could be expected.
Where is she now?
Lowestoft.
Oh, you mean she's not here?
Well, no, she's too busy. Well, she had a book to finish.
Oh.
I told her I'd need at least one supporter to raise a little applause.
Oh, there now. I think we can manage a couple.
Oh, yes, 2 or 3.
I've done it. I'm through. Reached the required standard.
Oh,
Mamma,
well
I've got the
done.
Oxford Senior.
Thank heaven for that, dear. Now perhaps we can have some peace.
Did you hear that, Father? It was the last hurdle. I can go to Oxford. Oxford, Father.
Yes, well, you can forget about that for a start.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do I mean? Don't you know there's a war on?
The war? Well, how can that affect us? Edward's too young to fight.
Not talking about Edward.
Well, what are you talking about? How can it possibly affect me?
God in heaven, why are women always so dense? You sit there. You seem to think nothing's happened. I'm talking about the firm. Don't you realize how this is going to affect everything? Trade, investment, taxes, supplies.
Why should it? Good heavens, we've had wars before. You said that in the Boer War, trade actually got better.
This is not like the Boer War. This is in Europe, you silly girl. It can disrupt everything. It can drag on for months. And where's that going to leave us? In the workhouse, that's where. And if you think that I can pour out money on your blue-stocking fads and fancies while the firm's going down the drain while you're living in a fool's paradise, Vera, that's all I can say.
Are you saying that you can't afford for either of us to go? Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm saying only one of you can go, and don't ask which one. You may as well start getting used to the idea straight away. I'm having no argument about it.
Haven't you got anything to say?
There's no point. Not until he's cooled down a bit.
And then what will you say? If I can't go, you won't go either?
I was told for a fact that it would all be over by Christmas.
If there had to be a war, why did it have to come now? Just at the most inconvenient time. This is really going to mess things up for me.
Now God be thanked, who has matched us with his hour, and caught our youth, and wakened us from sleeping, with hand made sure, clear eye, and sharpened power, to turn as swimmers into cleanness leaping, glad from a world grown old and cold and weary. Leave the sick hearts that honour could not move, and half men, and their dirty songs, and dreary, and all the little emptiness of love.